Welcome, beautiful souls, to Wisdom Dynamic. Let's take a moment to pause, reflect, and dive into something truly inspiring today. If you've ever felt like life has tried to knock you down or that you've been misunderstood, you're not alone. Today, we're unveiling a powerful truth that the universe has been patiently waiting to reveal. For the chosen ones like you, who have always sensed that you were different, this message is for you. You've navigated life with resilience and authenticity, facing struggles that would break many, and yet here you are, still standing strong. But before we continue, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Wisdom Dynamic, and share it with your fellow seekers. And if you're ready to align with the universe's energy, comment 77 below to send out a powerful signal. Let's dive into today's journey. It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video, it means the time has come for you to understand a truth the universe has been patiently waiting to reveal. Double asterisk. The time has come for you to understand a truth the universe has been patiently waiting to reveal. Chosen ones like you have always sensed you were different. You've navigated life on a unique wavelength, noticing subtleties others brush off, feeling energies most ignore, and weathering storms that would break many. Before we continue, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 below to send a powerful signal out into the universe. Watch this video on repeat to activate its energy and claim the full force of this message. If you are truly a chosen one, you'll stay till the end. If not, you may find yourself drifting away. The laughter that once echoed. Not long ago, a group of cunning individuals, call them witches, manipulators, energy drainers, laughed at your struggles. They took pleasure in your confusion, your setbacks, your vulnerability. They huddled together, a gang built on shared deceit and cruelty, casting their spells of illusion and sabotage. Their laughter wasn't just amusement, it was a declaration of power over what they believed to be an easy target. You might have sensed their hidden eyes upon you, mocking your sincerity, scorning the authenticity you dared to wear openly in a world that often values pretense. These witches believed that mocking and belittling the chosen ones would yield a steady supply of energy. After all, laughter can be a weapon when coated in malice. They thought that by pooling their dark intentions, they could create a fortress that no single soul could breach. With each sneer, they affirmed their belief that your downfall was inevitable. They convinced themselves that your very nature, your sensitivity, empathy, and openness, was a weakness ripe for exploitation. But chosen ones carry within them a resilience forged through countless trials. The world might mock your depth, but it can't extinguish it. This gang of witches underestimated one crucial truth. You, the chosen one, are guided by forces they can't comprehend. Your path may have been fraught with obstacles, but each challenge refined your inner compass and sharpened your discernment. While they laughed, you learned. While they celebrated what they thought was your demise, you grew stronger in ways they never noticed. The laughter that once echoed in secret circles is fading now. The energy they expended on deception and malice is turning against them. They expected you to falter, but you've endured. The universe has a way of balancing accounts, and those who revel in others' pain eventually encounter their own reckoning. Their laughter can't mask the discomfort arising as their carefully plotted illusions crumble. They begin to realize the pit they dug for you leads straight into their own downfall. And in that realization, their laughter weakens. Their confidence wanes. The witches' arrogance blinded them to the long game. They never considered that your presence, your struggles, and your ultimate resilience would be witnessed not just by human eyes, but by forces they cannot control. The joke is on them now. The days of mocking laughter are numbered. A shift is underway, one that will leave them shaken, confused, and forced to acknowledge that no amount of collective malice can overshadow the truth embodied by a chosen soul who refuses to break. The brutal loss they never saw coming. The turning point arrived silently, without fanfare. One by one, the threads of their intricate spellwork began to unravel. Where once they held advantages, numbers, influence, and carefully crafted lies, they now stumble in confusion. Their gang, previously fortified by mutual deceit, finds itself fractured. Trust among them wavers. Fingers start pointing. How could their foolproof plan fail? They never imagined you would rise so steadily. They never expected the universe to respond in kind, redirecting their own darkness back at them. Now, as their schemes implode, they're faced with a loss they never anticipated. They believed they could hold you down indefinitely, siphoning your energy and dulling your light. Instead, you've reclaimed your power, and note, the text cuts off at the end. Let me know if you'd like to extend or adjust it further. The force that nurtures your spirit now rebounds in ways that leave them reeling. This loss isn't measured solely in material terms. It's a loss of control, of smug certainty, of the hubris that led them to believe they could manipulate divine order. They see their reputations tarnish as whispers spread of their failed plots. They feel the sting of isolation as allies back away, unwilling to be entangled in a sinking ship. Most painfully, they confront the truth that all their mockery, their cackling over your supposed weakness, has transformed into an echo of their own folly. As they grapple with this brutal loss, they come face to face with a principle as old as time. What one sows, one reaps. They sowed confusion, malice, and mockery, expecting a harvest of power and amusement. Instead, they reap mistrust, exposure, and the bitter taste of their own illusions dissolving. The group that once prided itself on unity in darkness now splits into factions, each desperate to avoid accountability. Meanwhile, you remain centered. The chosen one does not need to celebrate another's downfall. You simply continue on your path, guided by the inner truth they ridiculed. Yet their loss is also your liberation. The obstacles they placed in your way served as tests you passed, strengthening your resolve. Their efforts to weaken you only sharpened your intuition and heightened your spiritual defenses. Now as they scramble in chaos, you step forward with quiet assurance. This is not a story of revenge, but of balance. The universe corrects imbalances in subtle yet undeniable ways. It may have allowed them their moment of laughter, but it was always listening, always waiting to restore harmony. Their brutal loss stands as a testament that no alliance built on deception can withstand the gravity of truth. They are not laughing anymore, and as they grapple with the magnitude of their error, you continue to evolve, unfettered by their long-vanished jeers. The joke that backfired. They called you a fool, an easy mark. They thought your open heart and earnest spirit were laughable traits. In their eyes, your kindness was weakness, your depth an amusing quirk to exploit. Their jokes were plentiful, sly remarks behind closed doors, snickering glances exchanged as you passed by, cruel impersonations meant to degrade your character. They believed themselves untouchable, masters of a script they wrote without consulting the universe's editors. But the cosmic joke is never one-sided. While they spent their time mocking and plotting, they forgot that the divine has a way of rebalancing scales. Their carefully rehearsed punchlines, meant to belittle you, have returned as ironies they cannot escape. The joke they crafted to belittle the chosen one now circles back to target them, each barb they flung echoing in their own minds. They find themselves in a reality where their jokes no longer land, where no one's laughing with them, only at them. Consider it poetic justice. They presume to define you through their narrow lens, never realizing that your worth transcends their understanding. Their laughter was hollow from the start, a defense mechanism against something they feared but couldn't name. You represent authenticity, a quality that challenges their preference for manipulation. They used humor as a shield, trying to mask their own insecurities behind a sneer. Now, as their world implodes, that shield cracks. They must face the insecurities they tried to project onto you. The tables have turned, and they stand exposed before the same universal forces they belittled. The group of witches who once dared to laugh at your struggles must now endure the laughter of fate itself. They learn a painful lesson. No matter how cleverly they craft their jokes, no matter how many allies they gather, they cannot override the laws of cause and effect. For you, witnessing this reversal might bring a certain calm. You never needed their downfall to prove your worth, yet seeing the universe's subtle enforcement of balance confirms what you've always known. Your path is guided by integrity, and integrity does not yield to mockery. While their jokes crumble, your truth stands unshaken. This entire episode serves as a reminder that mocking others, especially chosen ones, is an attempt to deny the sanctity of each soul's journey. Eventually, every attempt to trivialize another's truth backfires, revealing the jokester's own moral bankruptcy. They are not laughing anymore because the universe has ensured the final punchline belongs to truth. The laughter they once wielded as a weapon now highlights their own misjudgment. The joke, in the end, rests solely on them. The power of your resilience. In the midst of their downfall, it's easy to focus solely on the dark side of this story. But let's not forget what has propelled you to this point: your resilience. You stood firm while they sneered, endured their attempts to undermine your confidence, and faced odds that would have crippled many. They laughed because they believed their tricks would break you. Instead, you grew stronger. Your resilience is not an accident. It is the cumulative effect of every trial you've survived, every lesson you've learned, every quiet moment of reflection that steadied your heart. While they ridiculed your openness, you understood that vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a gateway to profound growth. By embracing your sensitivity instead of fearing it, you gained access to a depth of understanding they cannot fathom. As their alliance fractures, they might wonder how you managed to withstand their machinations. The answer lies not in cunning, but in authenticity. You never played their game. While they invested energy in deceit, you invested in truth. While they sought control over others, you sought mastery over yourself. Each time they tried to provoke fear, you chose faith. Each time they offered despair, you cultivated hope. Resilience isn't about unshakable strength from the start. It's about how you respond when pressured, tested, and nearly broken. Your journey through their mockery was like forging steel in a furnace. The heat was intense, but it purified your essence. Now in the aftermath, you carry an inner steadiness that cannot be easily rattled. They look at you and cannot understand how you remain poised in the face of their attempts to drag you down. Your calm confidence is a testament that inner peace does not rely on external validation. This newfound resilience has practical effects. With it, you navigate future challenges with grace, discern motives more swiftly, sense inauthenticity more acutely, and stand your ground more firmly. You have learned that your worth does not hinge on others' laughter or approval. Instead, it thrives in alignment with your soul's mission, a mission guided not by ego, but by love and understanding. In witnessing their downfall, recognize that your resilience contributed to this outcome. Their laughter could not sustain itself against a soul anchored in truth. The universe acknowledges your endurance by allowing you to witness how illusions crumble. Through this experience, you become a living example of how chosen ones can transmute adversity into inner strength. Their brutal loss underscores your quiet victory, a resilience that turns mocking laughter into silence and ensures that the light you carry remains undiminished. Moreover, this resilience paves a smoother road ahead. You are now better equipped to offer compassion to those who wander in confusion, to forgive those trapped in patterns of deceit, and to stand firm in your convictions without wavering. By rising above their attempts to break you, you've demonstrated that integrity outlasts manipulation, and that spiritual endurance ultimately outshines shallow cunning. In essence, you have become proof that no amount of cruelty can extinguish the flame of a soul forged in truth. As you continue forward, let this resilience guide each step, each choice, and each encounter, reminding you that your inner strength is both shield and beacon the world is still learning to appreciate the power of an unwavering heart. The illusions that cracked apart. Beneath all the laughter, the witches relied on illusions, masks, deceptions, and half-truths designed to obscure reality. They understood that to hold power, they must control the narrative. They painted you as weak, naive, or misguided, and for a while their illusions seemed convincing. Onlookers, uncertain and easily swayed, may have even chuckled along, unsure of whom to believe. But illusions have a shelf life. As truth quietly weaves through life's tapestry, falsehoods fray at the edges, thin and tear. The illusions they painstakingly crafted cracked apart when faced with the undeniable evidence of your growth and resilience. The cracks began small, perhaps a slip in their story, a contradiction in their approach, or a sudden failure of a well-planned scheme. With each flaw exposed, their credibility waned. They're left grappling with a harsh reality. No amount of mocking can permanently eclipse the truth. While they channeled their energies into constructing a narrative that belittled you, they neglected the possibility that you would evolve beyond their projections. The growth you underwent, fueled by introspection and guided by divine insight, shattered their storyline. Every step you took away from their trap, every personal triumph you achieved, revealed another fault line in their facade. Now the group and gang that once stood united in scorn find themselves questioning each other's loyalty and authenticity. Their illusions required synergy. Everyone needed to uphold the same distortions. But as doubt seeps in, their unity dissolves. Some realize they were deceived by their own members. Others resent that their invincible alliance crumbles so easily. The loss they face is not just reputational, it's spiritual. They must confront the gap between the personas they projected and the emptiness lurking beneath. For you, witnessing these illusions crumble offers clarity. You see how fear manipulated their actions, how insecurity fueled their need to ridicule what they couldn't control. In the midst of their unraveling, you find liberation. The false image they tried to impose on you falls away like a shed skin. Now you exist beyond their definition, free to embrace your true essence without the weight of their judgments. This is not a moment for gloating. The crumbling illusions serve a cosmic lesson. Truth is patient, resilient, and self-revealing. Delusions can dominate momentarily but cannot withstand the gentle persistence of authenticity. The witches discover this the hard way, standing amid the ruins of their own constructs, forced to face the emptiness that once hid behind confident smiles and malicious laughter. While they scramble, you stand tall, a beacon of what it means to endure and outlast the lies spun by those who never understood the strength of a chosen one's spirit. The silent victory within. As their downfall unfolds, you might expect a surge of vindication or a desire to celebrate their suffering. But chosen ones often move in subtler ways. Instead of relishing their pain, you experience a different kind of victory, one that's silent, dignified, and rooted in self-acknowledgement rather than outward triumph. This silent victory resonates in your heart, where you recognize that your integrity never wavered. You didn't stoop to their level or unleash counterattacks fueled by revenge. Instead, you allowed the universe to administer its own form of justice. Your role was not to become like them, but to remain true to yourself, to evolve and to trust that truth would eventually prevail. Quietly, you appreciate the lessons their mockery taught you. They tested your resolve, forcing you to confront insecurities and fears lurking in your subconscious. Each time they laughed, you forged a deeper connection to your inner wisdom. They gave you the opportunity to prove to yourself that external opinions, no matter how loud or numerous, do not define who you are. This understanding now forms the core of your being, granting you a peace that no external validation can shake. Their downfall serves as a reminder that your journey stands apart from their narratives. While they dissolve into chaos, you continue forward. Your path guided by principles they never understood: honesty, compassion, and spiritual growth. Unfolding more freely, free of their sabotage, you feel lighter, more agile. You walk with confidence, not the confidence born of ego, but that which stems from knowing your worth and purpose. This silent victory also nourishes your empathy. Instead of seeing them solely as villains, you recognize their humanity, marred by choices born of insecurity and fear. While you hold them accountable, you also understand that no soul is beyond redemption if they seek it earnestly. If one day they choose to learn from their downfall and embrace truth, your heart has room to acknowledge that possibility. In many ways, this victory is about transcending the need for approval or retribution. You affirm that your happiness, your growth, and your alignment with divine principles do not depend on the absence of challenges. True victory arises when you maintain your inner equilibrium in the face of adversity. Their defeat confirms what you knew deep down, that faith in truth, perseverance and integrity, and a refusal to be swayed by mockery are the marks of real strength. Your silent victory reverberates quietly through the cosmos. There's no need to shout it or move troops. Just by living your truth, you shift the spiritual environment. You become a subtle but steady force, encouraging others who face similar ridicule to stand firm. The witch's laughter may have faded, but the echo of your resilience remains. In that resonance, a new chapter begins, one where you are no longer the target of their scorn. You continue forward, guided by a private triumph that no one can take away. Life after their fall. As the smoke clears and the gang of witches grapples with their defeat, you step into a future free from their dark influence. Life after their fall brings a sense of calm you may not have realized you needed. The tension you carried, the constant need to brace yourself against their energy, dissipates. You now navigate your days with more ease, and the world seems a bit brighter, as if the universe is rewarding your perseverance with a clearer path. The silence from their side feels surreal at first. No more lurking shadows, no more mocking murmurs. You rediscover the freedom to engage with life on your own terms. The projects, relationships, and dreams they tried to disrupt are now open fields where you can cultivate growth and joy. You approach each opportunity without the weight of their mockery pressing down on you. This newfound freedom extends inward as well. Without their voices to contradict your intuition, you trust yourself more fully. Your decisions come from a place of confidence, untainted by others' projected insecurities. As you explore new avenues, you rely on the inner compass you refined while withstanding their ridicule. Every step affirms that you do not need to silence the world to find peace. You only need to outlast the lies. Life after their fall might surprise you in how normal it can feel. Instead of dramatic revelations, you experience subtle shifts, easier conversations, fewer miscommunications, and a natural flow in your pursuits. You realize that their presence was never essential to your narrative. You were always capable of creating your own story, shaping it according to your values and aspirations. Their attempts to derail you become a distant memory, proof that your soul transcends temporary challenges. As time passes, reflect on the journey you've made. The laughter they wielded like a weapon now feels faint. Like an old echo you no longer need to answer. Their brutal loss was never about your revenge. It was about cosmic balance, the universe's gentle but firm way of correcting moral imbalances. You've learned that no matter how coordinated the effort, how united the forces that stand against truth, they cannot outlast the chosen one who refuses to capitulate. Your life after their fall is a testament that chosen ones do more than survive adversity. They transmute it. They emerge wiser, more compassionate, and more certain of their path. The joke they tried to make at your expense boomerangs back, leaving them in disarray. Yet you hold no malice, for malice would tarnish the purity of your victory. Instead, you greet the future with a quiet smile, aware that the world continues to turn, guided by invisible hands that ensure truth, authenticity, and resilience ultimately have the last laugh.